guys? I am back, and I'm going to give my thoughts and breakdown of UFC 266 live September 25th on ESPN and ESPN Plus. And it should be a great fight. We have Aleksandar volkanovski versus Brian Ortega for the featherweight strap. Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. And Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. Should be great night of fights overall. You know, good fights. You got Andrade is fighting Cinta Calvillo, and Curtis Blades versus Jorginho Rosenstruck. So, should be a great night of fights. Yeah, man, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and let's get to it. All right, so we have Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. They fought already once years ago, and Nick Diaz won by knockout in the second round. And that fight was great too back then. You know, Nick Diaz came out and, you know, knocked him out in the second. You know, made him face plant to the floor. Robbie Lawler, but I think Robbie Lawler has definitely changed a lot since. You know, that was years ago. You know, still fresh to the game. Well, not that fresh, but fresh to the game. And now his striking's improved by a lot. And I see the fight going a lot differently. Nick Diaz coming off a big layoff. Last time we seen Nick was when he fought Anderson Silva, which, you know, at the end came up to a no contest. That sucked, you know, but he gave us a nice little memorable moment laying on the ground like that, you know. that was a good laughter. This fight I think is gonna be a lot different because, you know, like I said, Robbie Lawler powerhouse definitely has improved, you know, since the older he gets. Nick Diaz, his boxing's always up to par, you know, in their weird way, because I feel like they just weird fight. Like, they throw hands so weird, but it just works for them, you know. So can't knock it. Their jiu-jitsu between him and his brother Nate is phenomenal. I definitely think that I think this fight is gonna be standing for as long as that fight goes, man. I don't think Nick Diaz is really going to knock him out. I think he's going to win by decision. You know, Robbie Lawler, like I said, has improved. Robbie Lawler's going to have his moments. I mean, Robbie Lawler can win this fight too. You know, especially if he mix it up. You just got to be mindful for the jiu-jitsu of Nick Diaz. You know, and it's going to be a big old pop for Nick Diaz when he comes out. You know, Robbie Lawler definitely just has to be mindful of the jiu-jitsu and where he places his neck if he's going to go for a takedown and stuff like that. Because the Diaz brothers never really like going for takedowns. You know, they just like to just box it out unless somebody goes for a takedown, and then they work from there. You know, they have good dirty boxing while they're in the clinch. You know. So definitely going to be an interesting fight. I can't wait. You guys let me know who's going to win that fight between the two. Between Nick and Robbie Lawler. And now we also have Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. Yeah, there is nobody in the UFC women's flyweight division I think that's going to knock off Valentina Shevchenko from being like the solo crown woman of the flyweights. Like, there is nobody there, right, as of right now, has the ability, I think, to stop Valentina Shevchenko. You know, Lauren Murphy, wrestling is good. Her striking is pretty decent. I mean, it's nowhere near Valentina's. So I don't know, man. It's a hard fight to call because I think Valentina has just been so dominant that it's really hard to see anybody in that division that's gonna stop her momentum and make her lose. You know, unless she has a really off night. But anything can happen. It's a fight game. Lauren Murphy can come out and take her down and catch her with a beautiful submission. But you know, I don't think she's going to knock out her. I don't think she can knock out Valentina. But, yeah, I think if Lauren can take it to the ground and neutralize Valentina, I think, you know, the way Jennifer Maia did early in their fight, you know, until like later on, then Valentina started putting it on her. But I think if Lauren can control what goes down on the ground and let off her grounded pound and maybe try even some submissions, you know, she can probably pull off the upset victory over Valentina, but as of right now, it's gonna be hard for anybody in the flyweight division to really show like, oh, I can beat Valentina. You know, there isn't anybody right now. Nobody, I think personally, and I think everybody knows personally that nobody's gonna stop Valentina Shevchenko from just winning her belt. Like nobody's taking it from her. You know, Valentina is dominant with her Muay Thai, dominant in wrestling, and even her jiu-jitsu. Like her crucifix are brutal. Like if you seen her last fight against Andrade, like her crucifix were brutal. Andrade is, you know, her wrestling, her slams, just her power. I really thought that fight was going to go a lot differently than what it did. And it went the total opposite way. Valentina just shut her down. There was nothing Andrade can do for her to win this fight. I don't. Valentina didn't even give her a chance to breathe in that fight. Like it was just crazy. She just, like I said, her crucifix when she gets you on the ground, like she sets it up beautifully on the ground. Like there is nothing. Like it's crazy. Like I think it's just crazy how dominant she is. You know. But hey, I got Valentina winning. You guys let me know in the comment section below who you think is gonna win the fight between Valentina or Lauren Murphy. Now for the main event, we have Brian Ortega versus Aleksandar Volkanovski. That's gonna be an interesting fight. You know, Brian Ortega coming off a win against the Korean Zombie. Definitely like Brian. His hands have definitely gotten a lot better and improved, and he proved it when he fought the Korean Zombie. Definitely outboxed him. Definitely showed that his boxing, that he's been working on his boxing religiously. You know, alongside his jiu-jitsu. You know, that his hands are becoming just as good as his jiu-jitsu. And that's a scary thing to have. Just have somebody coming from jiu-jitsu. And I mean, it's not like Brian Ortega didn't have good hands before, but it looks sharper now, man. And I think that's gonna make it a very hard fight for Aleksandar since he's a little smaller. The only thing Aleksandar Volkanovski likes wrestling just as much as throwing his hands. And I think he just has to be mindful, definitely, against Brian Ortega, man. Like, Brian Ortega is a nasty jiu-jitsu practitioner. And I think that Aleksandar can definitely get caught with a submission if he's just constantly trying to go for takedowns. You know, I don't think he's going to constantly go for takedowns. I think he's going to try to set him up as much as he can. You know, get close in, use his hands to get in, or his legs, or even just box like Brian Ortega. You know, if that's possible too, man. It's a fight game. You never know. I think Brian Ortega is going to come up with an upset victory over Aleksandar Volkanovski. But you know, Volk's skills when he's in the octagon also can play a big factor, and he's gonna look. I think this fight is gonna be interesting. You know, both men want, you know, the title, so it's gonna be very, very, very hard to. It's a hard decision for me to choose who's gonna win that fight. You know, they both have the ability to win the fight. It's just whoever implements their game plan is gonna win this fight. Like literally, whoever implements that game plan, and it, you know, and it shines that day, that's who's gonna win this fight. You guys let me know in the comment section who you guys think is gonna win between all these main fights, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you like this video, hit a like and subscribe. You know, also if you're new, and also leave a comment, guys, on below, and I'll try to get back to you guys. Peace.